The process of editing your literature can be where the success of your piece is born or where it dies. Let's talk through my process for editing literature and some basic elements that must be in every oral interp piece. The first thing you have to do when starting to edit your literature is decide what you want the story to be about. Is it about the plot, the things that are happening, or is it about the character and the things that they learn or how they change? Both are possible, but generally a story is about one or the other, the things that happen, or the person doing the things. Once you've made that decision, there are 6 steps I suggest following to cut a piece of literature into a 10-minute presentation. Step 1. Read the whole piece of literature without taking any notes. Don't even consider how you will perform it. Just get the story into your head. Step 2. Read it again. This time, make general notes about different sections and characters and parts you really like. This is where you have to start to make decisions about the direction you will take the piece. Step 3. Read it again. But this time, identify specific sections of the text you want to use. Be generous. It's okay to include more than you think you will need at this stage in the game. It's easier to take parts out than to decide later you want to add parts back in. Step 4. Type it up. Start with a blank document and include everything you think you might want to use. Step 5. Read it out loud and time it. This will give you an idea of how much more you need to cut. Step 6 has 2 parts. Evaluate the components of the story that remain and re-edit. At this point, pay close attention to any missing aspects of the story and things that are irrelevant to the focus of the story you've chosen to tell. Then make those changes. Repeat the last 2 steps until you are satisfied. Read it out loud and time it, and re-edit. Throughout this process, keep the goal of the piece in mind. What is your theme? And does everything you include add to the development and progression of that theme? Sacrifice everything for the sake of the theme and a complete presentation. If it doesn't serve the purpose of developing your character or advancing the plot, you need to cut it. This does mean you may need to cut your favorite characters, scenes, or lines to make sure you're staying focused. Don't forget to make sure all the elements of a good story are still in the piece. You need to have a beginning, middle, climax, and some sort of resolution. Here are some things you should have in your finished product. Cohesive elements. All parts of the piece need to work together to advance your theme. A simple concept for your audience to follow. You should be able to summarize your theme and purpose in 1 sentence. However, you want to have some complexity. A good piece will engage multiple parts of the audience's attention as they watch it, while still developing a single theme or story. Let's review. Choose your theme. Choose what the piece is going to be about, the story or the characters. Identify your goals. Follow the 6 steps to edit the literature to include only the parts of the text that let you meet your goals for the piece. Stay focused. Work on creating a cohesive presentation. Be willing to make hard choices for the sake of the presentation as a whole. These principles will guide you as you work with your literature. Your piece is an ever-living document that will continue to change as you perform it and get feedback. Don't ever think that you are totally done. Don't forget to keep in mind that this is your story to tell. You can make the decisions, and you have to choose what it looks like to have your best story.